If you enjoy what you hear here today, please consider supporting me on my Patreon page. Every dollar helps, and you get to see content that you won't see here. Chapter 18. Rarity.
Oh, that was incredible, Rainbow Dash!
Twilight squeaked with an enormous, giddy smile spreading across her face as soon as they touched down. She turned to her friend and beamed happily.
I could see so far. Is that the kind of view Pegasus have all the time?
Rainbow chuckled and shook her head.
Nah, not really. Most of the time Pegasus don't need to go that high under their own power. The ones in Cloudsdale have it good, though. The city moves. Wow. Well, thank you for showing me that, Rainbow. It was a very nice surprise. Like I knew it would be.
Rainbow smirked triumphantly before slouching in her posture slightly, the exertion of high-altitude flying catching up to her.
Kinda makes me wish you actually did have wings of your own. It'd be nice to have more consistent company when I decide to go high.
Twilight's smile faltered somewhat at that, the memory of that alicorn look-alike flashing through her mind for a moment.
Yeah, that would be sort of cool, I suppose.
Rainbow maintained her smile and beckoned for Twilight to follow her.
Right, well, anyways, looks like Celestia's about to set the sun in a little while. We should probably get back. Are we walking?
Twilight asked in surprise with a raised eyebrow, falling into step next to Rainbow.
That seems a little out of character for you. Normally you fly when you need to go places.
Rainbow rolled her eyes before pointing at her wings with a hoof, like it were obvious.
Dwight, I don't know if you really noticed this because of how excited you were, but we were so high up that the air was a lot thinner than it is down here in the city. I had to work my wings extra hard just to keep us stable and aloft, especially considering I was carrying you on my back the entire time. I've got some pretty good lungs, yeah, and I know I'm awesome, but my wing muscles are done for today.
Twilight nodded in understanding while making an O with her mouth.
Oh, right. Point taken. All right, well, lead on. Your Highness!
Came a remarkably sudden and shrill shriek from some pony a little ways down the street from the two fillies. The two came to a stop and looked over to spot a white unicorn filly with a purple mane and 3 diamonds as a cutie mark galloping towards them. Rainbow, to be more precise. The unicorn skidded to a halt in front of Rainbow and then bowed deeply.
A million pardons for interrupting your day, but I was wondering if would it be permissible for me to...
Rainbow put a hoof on the filly's horn and lifted her head before quickly shoving a hoof in her mouth.
Slow down,
she said simply with a confused frown. After a moment, she withdrew her hoof.
Now, what's up?
The filly opened her mouth to speak, but then clamped it shut while her muzzle scrunched up incredulously. For a moment, she appeared to be in deep thought before she spoke again.
I'm sorry, come again?
Rainbow raised an eyebrow and shared a confused look with Twilight, who merely shrugged.
You know, what's up? What do you want? Is something wrong? You know, the normal, obvious questions to, whatever this is.
Rainbow explained with a non-committal shrug.
Oh, pardon me, Your Highness. I suppose I was just expecting a more, shall we say, regal composure.
The filly said before clearing her throat.
My name is Rarity, and, if it wouldn't be any trouble, I was wondering if... Rarity, where are you, dear?
An adult mare's voice called from beyond the corner. Rarity looked over her shoulder, a mild panic setting into her features. Abruptly, she turned and lunged at Rainbow, clinging to her like her life depended on it, and gazed up into her now startled eyes.
Don't let them put me in a straitjacket!
She wailed, one of her eyes twitching sporadically.
Twilight, little help here?
Rainbow asked uncomfortably, squirming away from Rarity. Twilight nodded and pried Rarity off of Rainbow with magic, earning a nervous whimper from the pearly unicorn. Rainbow dusted herself off before leveling a flat look at Rarity.
Okay, now, would you mind saying that in a way that makes sense?
Rarity went still for a moment, before nodding and taking a deep breath. She didn't get a chance to speak, however, as 2 ponies, presumably her parents, came cantering up with worried looks. Oh my, Rarity, please don't go running off like that. You scared us back there, you did. The stallion chided with a frown. The mare nodded along before spotting the company they were in and dropping into a bow. Rainbow gagged before addressing the ponies in front of her.
Enough bowing. Seriously, that's enough. And don't call me Your Highness or Majesty or anything like that. It's just Rainbow Dash. Just call me that.
The stallion spotted Rainbow now and very visibly refrained from dropping into a bow himself. Oh, I'm terribly sorry for our daughter's erratic behavior. We were just on our way to a doctor's appointment for her.
I'm not crazy, Dad,
Rarity pouted, shrinking away from her parents slightly. The two shared uneasy looks.
And we believe you, sweetie, but still, seeing, well, what you described just isn't normal,
her mother said gently before reaching out with a forehoof. Twilight caught what the mare said, and almost instantly her brain kicked into gear, and she met the mother's gaze.
Begging your pardon, miss, but what do you mean by that? Did Rarity hallucinate or something?
The mare frowned slightly, giving Twilight a scrutinizing gaze.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Rainbow puffed up a bit and rested a hoof on Twilight's back.
This is Twilight Sparkle, personal student of Princess Celestia and my good friend. Go ahead and answer her. She's cool. Alright, well, see, we're not sure,
the mare admitted nervously while rubbing one of her hooves with the other, an anxious look coming over her.
We know she saw something that wasn't there. She described it as seeing herself spending time with her baby sister. Except... Don't stop there. Keep going,
Rainbow prodded, now paying close attention as well. Rarity looked between the two groups and gulped nervously. It was the father to speak next, adjusting his straw hat on his head. She said that she saw her sister as, older than Rarity is now. Twilight and Rainbow shared a realizing glance. Then Rainbow nodded firmly and turned her gaze back to the parents.
Okay, I'm not good with the fancy technicalities of magic or mental health or whatever, so I'm gonna leave my friend Twilight here with you three. Rarity?
Rainbow turned to the white filly.
She may seem crazy, hey, but you can trust her. She's gonna ask you a few questions really quick.
Rainbow then looked firmly towards the parents.
And I want you two to let her answer them. I'm gonna head to the castle and notify Celestia.
Begging your pardon, Rainbow Dash, but... The stallion started before clearing his throat. What exactly is going on? Do you know what's wrong with Rarity? And with all due respect, why does it warrant Princess Celestia's attention? It was Twilight who answered.
It sounds like she's experiencing something awfully similar to what Rainbow Dash and I have experienced ourselves in the recent past. Hallucinations or visions of different places and events seemingly directly related to an interaction we just had. If it is the same phenomenon affecting Rarity here, we need to know about it. Yeah, what she said,
Rainbow pointed out before giving her wings a testing flap.
Ish, my wings are gonna regret this one in the morning.
She then took to the air and shot off for Canterlot Castle. It was almost time for the night to begin. Princess Celestia stood on the balcony of her private chambers, overlooking Canterlot and the surrounding mountainside with a warm smile. As the clock towers below began to chime the hour of moonlight, however, she lost her smile. With a soft sigh, Princess Celestia ignited her horn with golden magical light and pulled the sun back down towards the horizon, the moon gradually lifting into the air to take its place. She stared into the patterns and shapes of the mare and the moon gazing back at her, feeling a pang of guilt and longing go through her. She winced and closed her eyes.
Not much longer now. Not much longer till what?
Came Rainbow Dash's curious voice from her left. Celestia jumped in surprise at the usually quite noisy Pegasus filly's shockingly quiet approach.
You alright?
Celestia smiled at Rainbow Dash warmly.
Yes, Rainbow, I'm quite alright. Just remembering some bitter memories.
She turned her attention fully from the slowly moving moon to her adopted daughter.
Is everything all right with you, though? Me? Yeah, I'm good.
Rainbow nodded with a mild shrug.
But Twi and I think we may have found another pony having these weird hallucination thingies.
Celestia's forlorn smile immediately turned to a somewhat serious frown.
Are you sure?
She asked simply, to which Rainbow could only shrug her shoulders helplessly.
Hey, if I knew that, I wouldn't be here. We were hoping to bring the expert in to check it out,
she said candidly before gesturing behind her.
The filly's down in the city itself, probably talking to Twilight right now. Should I bring her here, or... No, I'll go to her.
Celestia cut in simply, while giving her wings a mild stretch to ready them for the imminent flight.
You look tired. Go ahead and hop on. Rest your wings. I can take it from here. Hey, I'm sore, but I can manage a flight back without breaking a sweat,
Rainbow complained with an indignant huff. Celestia raised an eyebrow questioningly before her horn lit up. Rainbow wilted as Celestia plucked a small bead of sweat off of her forehead and dangled it in front of her.
Fine.
Celestia chuckled lightly and waited for Rainbow to settle down. While the filly made herself comfortable, Celestia took a moment to just appreciate the warmth of the filly on her back. A contented hum slipped out of her when Rainbow stopped shifting.
This feels nice. We should do this more often.
Rainbow lifted her head slightly with an amused smirk.
You know, you keep saying that about a lot of things, and then we never do it again.
Celestia nodded glumly while trotting to the edge of her balcony.
The burden of the crown, I suppose. It bothers you, doesn't it?
Celestia paused and shifted so she could stare back at Rainbow Dash.
You're getting more perceptive,
she noted with a proud smile. Rainbow snickered.
Yeah, I know. I'm awesome.
Celestia outright laughed at the filly's trademarked catchphrase before she felt Rainbow sit up slightly, making her stop again.
But no, seriously. You've been seeming a lot more down and in the dumps than usual lately.
Celestia paused and then wilted slightly.
Yes, I suppose I have been, haven't I? I'm sorry. I'm not used to some pony being able to read me like that. I live with you, and I'm your daughter, legally speaking,
Rainbow pointed out with a frown.
I've gotten to know you enough to tell when something is bugging you, so come on, spill it.
Celestia laughed slightly at Rainbow's candid demand for answers.
Well, if you must know.
Her smile faded to a solemn look of longing.
I told you before how much I had wanted a foal, yes? Yeah, back at High Blood's place,
Rainbow affirmed with a small nod. Celestia sighed.
You came into my life, Rainbow. You filled that void better than I had hoped. I just wish I had more time and more opportunities to truly take full advantage of everything that means. Like that dinner with you, Toy, and I a few days ago?
Rainbow deduced, earning a small nod from the princess she rested on.
Exactly like that. It was so relaxing and wonderful to just let go of my royal duties for a while and be at ease. Even with the topic that brought us together looming over me that night, I was determined to make the most of the chance, and I did. But I don't know when another will present itself.
Rainbow nodded slowly.
I gotcha, I think.
Celestia also nodded before resting a hoof on the rail of her balcony.
We are family now, Rainbow. I just wish it were easier for us to act like it.
She then took off from the balcony, gliding smoothly down into the city towards where Rainbow had earlier specified Twilight was waiting. Rainbow, for her part, simply frowned and buried herself into the Celestia's back, between her wing joints, happy to just let the princess carry her into the city below.